Big guy here. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the most common yet worst piece of advice men get for dating, especially if a man is asking a woman for advice on dating. And, some might give you some little spiel about need to dress this way, need to look this way, or some yada, yada, yada. But invariably, they will all say the same piece of advice. Just be yourself. Like, what do you mean just be yourself? How can you be somebody else? Like, what type of insane, idiotic, universal piece of shit advice is that they're giving that you're supposed to magically understand? Oh, if I'm just myself, I can go out and get laid. Okay, I'm here to tell you what that really means and how to be yourself. All right, so first you got to understand where a woman's coming from. A woman's biggest fear. This is like genetically ingrained in them. Like it's a deep down rooted seated fear that women have, that because of this fear is what allowed us as a human species to survive. So it's not a bad thing, but it is what it is. A woman's biggest fear is getting knocked up by a guy under false pretenses, thinking that he's going to stick around, and then the guy hightail it out of there. Now, why is that a problem? Okay, so in today's society, women are strong, independent, they can take care of their own offspring, right? But that's not always the case, and it's only really recently, like very recently, that has been the case. I mean, you got to go like more than 100 years in the past, like for the thousands of years that humans have been humans and we have been breeding, a woman needed a man for her and her kids to survive, period. So if a man got a woman pregnant, she can't hunt 8 months pregnant, she can't fend for herself 8 months pregnant. And especially when that kid's born, like, there's no way she can do anything for the first couple of weeks after her kid's born, especially if no one's around to help her out. So, yeah, the most god-awful worst thing that can happen to a woman is a man lie to her under false pretenses, get her knocked up, then hightail out of there. So when a woman's saying, just be yourself, the most basic form of that advice is her saying, don't try to be something you're not, just to get in my pants, just hightail out of there. But that doesn't help you out any, does it? It also, there's two other things that really means. On the first level, just be yourself means be your most basic self. What are you at the core? What is your most basic you, version of you? You're a man, Bubba. It is your job as a man to approach a woman, to lead the interaction and say, hey, I'm attracted to you. You're a female. Are you attracted to me? Let's do this thing. And it's your job to have a pair of balls to go and do that. It's not her job to approach you. It's your job to approach her. It's your job to lead the interaction. That's what the most basic thing there is to just being yourself. That's just to be you as a man. Secondly, don't just be yourself. Be the best version of yourself, Bo. There's several versions of everybody, right? I mean, you can be the lazy version of yourself. You wake up late, get to work late, barely, no motivation at work, get home, play games, eat horrible food, get fat, don't work out. That's one version of yourself. Or you can be the go-getter that takes pride in his appearance, that has goals, hobbies, and passions, and, doing things with his life. That's the better version of yourself. And that's the version you kind of need to be to, date women. So, yeah. Invariably, when you're asking women for advice, you're like, hey, what can I do, to help increase my chances of dating a hot chick like you? And she's going to give you that, same regurgitated line of, just be yourself, and it'll all work out. Ugh. Yeah. First of all, buddy, you ever been fishing? Do you ask the fish how to catch other fish? No, fish don't know why they get caught. You got to ask a fisherman, a guy that's good at catching fish. He'll give you some advice. It may or may not work, but it's advice that worked for him. And you can, you got to at least try it out. See, here's the most important thing about life, about dating. If you keep doing what you've done, you'll keep getting what you got. If you're not out, making advances on women, it's going to be tough for you to find a date. I mean, it's your job as a man to do that. It's your job as a man to make things happen. It's your job as a man to take control of your life and try to get the life you want. So if you're doing nothing and you're expecting all this stuff to magically happen, that's kind of the definition of insanity, buddy. I mean, that's doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Life doesn't work that way. So if you're doing nothing different and you're expecting to get different results, I mean, you got to go out on a limb here and try something, buddy. But that's my little rant for today. I think I'm trying to cut down on rants. YouTube likes shorter videos. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, one other thing, too. This is kind of on the same subject. So, I know I had this bright idea when I was younger. I'm sure other guys had it, because if I had it, other guys had it, right? So, try to cheat the system, right? I mean, I say cheat the system. It's like, I never really had a male figure growing up, so I didn't have anyone to seek good advice from. But I figured, hey, I can ask women what they want, and then I can be what they want, and I can get a girlfriend, right? Well, of course, they give you the same regurgitated line of just be yourself, and it's like, I'm being myself, it ain't working. So, yeah, didn't work out. The next bright idea I had, it's like, well, if I just get a girl to train me to be what she wants, right? Well, in a way, I can understand where a guy can get that idea, because we're men, we're very trainable, coachable, right? I mean, that's kind of what we do. We develop ourselves, we build ourselves, we train ourselves. So if a woman's like, you do this and you'll become very attractive, the guy's like, I will do that. But guess what, Bo? There's one giant flaw with that argument. Women don't want to train a man. Women wants a man that's already trained. Women wants a man that already knows everything. Women wants a man that understands what it means to be a man, to lead the interaction, to lead the relationship. So you kind of have to do that. And it's nothing complicated. It's just basically, embracing life, embracing your masculinity, and doing things, getting things done, and being a leader. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my little rant for today. Big guy out.